What if I told you the $85,000 piece of heavy machinery parked in your driveway right now isn't actually yours? Imagine this. You've got 15,000 pounds of flatbed trailer hooked up. You are pulling a 6% grade in the middle of nowhere. You've got a job to finish, a deadline to meet. Suddenly, a single, microscopic sensor on your exhaust pipe gets a little too coated in soot. Your dashboard lights up like a pinball machine. The computer panics. Instantly, your truck goes into limp mode. The ECM cuts your throttle, dragging your heavy load down to a crawling 5 miles per hour on a dangerous interstate shoulder. You didn't break a rod. You didn't blow a transmission. You got sidelined by a piece of silicon the size of a fingernail. Listen to me. I've been turning wrenches for 30 years, and I'm telling you straight up, you think you bought a rugged workhorse. What you really bought is an 8,000-pound corporate spy that holds your livelihood hostage. Modern heavy-duty diesels have become an absolute nightmare. For the last decade, engineers have been forced to choke these engines to death just to meet impossible EPA mandates. They've strapped on diesel, particulate filters, exhaust fluid injection systems, EGR valves that eat their own garbage, and NOx sensors so fragile a stiff breeze throws a check engine light. And look, I know what happened in late March of 2026. The EPA finally admitted their mistakes and rolled back the limp mode mandates, backing off the DEF quality sensor requirements. But let's be real. For the millions of trucks sitting in driveways right now, trapped under the old software architecture, the damage is already done. The hardware is still there. The code is still buried in the modules. And that is just the emissions side. Let's talk about the fuel system. We've got these modern rigs running incredibly fragile high-pressure fuel pumps, the infamous CP4 pump. I pull these apart in my shop weekly. When a CP4 fails, and it will, it doesn't just stop pumping, it grenades. It sends microscopic metallic shrapnel through the entire fuel system. It destroys the injectors, the rails, the lines, the tank, everything. That is not a mechanical breakdown anymore. That is a $10,000 ransom demand from the dealership. Because once you replace the hard parts, you still have to tow it to the dealer so they can use their proprietary scanner to clear the security codes. You are completely locked out of your own property. But smart mechanics, the guys who refuse to play this rigged game, we found a way out. We are executing the ultimate bypass. When guys come into my shop asking how to build a truck that no corporation or government agency can shut down, I break it down into 3 specific targets. Here is how you beat them at their own game. First, we need the foundation. I call this the best for price category. We are actively hunting down modern Ford Super Duties and Chevy Silverados with blown factory engines. I am talking about 2019, 2020, 2021 trucks that are mechanically totaled. A guy blows his CP4 pump, the dealer quotes him $12,000 for a fuel system and another $5,000 for an emissions system overhaul, and he just walks away. The truck becomes a massive money pit to him. To us, it is an absolute gold mine. We buy that rolling chassis for pennies on the dollar. You get a pristine aluminum body that won't rust. You get the beefy modern axles, the quiet cab, the heated seats, and a frame that can tow a house. Once we drag it into the shop, we start the purge. We rip out miles of useless copper wiring. We pull the fried computers right off the firewall and throw them in the trash where they belong. We strip the electronic powertrain completely bare. We want the truck dumb. Which brings us to the second phase, the best for reliability category. You cannot trust modern iron. So, we go back to the holy grail of diesel engineering. We source a 5.9 liter 1.2 valve Cummins from 1994 to 1998. Why this specific engine? Because it is bulletproof. It is 100% mechanical. The heart of this engine is the legendary Bosch P7100 mechanical injection pump. It looks like a loaf of bread bolted to the side of the block, and it is machined like a Swiss watch. The 1.2 valve does not have an engine control module. It does not have a software subscription. It does not connect to the cloud, and it sure as hell does not report your driving habits to a server in California. To make a 1-2 valve run, you literally only need 3 wires. 1 wire to bump the starter, 1 wire to charge the battery from the alternator, and 1 wire to hold the fuel shutoff solenoid open. That is it. You have 400 pounds-feet of torque right out of the box. Easily tunable to double that with nothing but a screwdriver and a wrench. No laptop required. Finally, we mate the two together. This is what I call the ultimate choice for survival. When you drop that 30-year-old analog engine into that modern chassis, you create what the industry calls a Cummins, but I just call it a ghost truck. You get the luxury and towing capacity of a brand new daily driver, powered by an untrackable, million-mile analog heart. And in a worst-case scenario, let's say the grid actually goes down. Gas stations lose power. Supply chains freeze. A modern diesel becomes a very heavy paperweight. But that 1-2 valve Cummins, because it is purely mechanical, it is not picky about its diet. You can run that engine on kerosene. You can run it on home heating oil. You can run it on automatic transmission fluid or even filtered waste motor oil. Try pouring used motor oil into a 2024 diesel and see how fast the computer shuts you down. This is the ultimate off-grid survival machine. But, and this is a massive but, this level of absolute ownership absolutely terrifies the bureaucrats. When you build a ghost truck, you are entirely bypassing their multi-billion-dollar compliance and dealership service industry, and they hate it. The EPA and state regulators, like the California Air Resources Board, are actively weaponizing the DMV against guys doing these swaps. They have spent the last 5 years crushing the aftermarket, slapping massive multi-million-dollar fines on tuning companies and mom-and-pop diesel shops. Even with the recent 2026 rollbacks on greenhouse gas standards, the core mandates of the Clean Air Act are still treated like gospel. Under federal tampering laws, it is strictly illegal to swap an older pre-emissions engine into a newer chassis for on-road use. The law says if your truck was stamped on the assembly line in 2018, any engine sitting between those frame rails must meet 2018 emission standards. Period. If you roll into a state inspection station with a purely mechanical 1,995 Cummins sitting under the hood of an aluminum Ford, they won't just fail you. They will flag your VIN in the system. They will deny your registration. They will legally declare your personal property illegal to drive on public roads. They tell the public this is about protecting the air. But any real mechanic knows exactly what this is. This is a war over property rights. Think about it. If the manufacturer holds the digital keys to your engine, and the government dictates exactly what physical metal parts you are allowed to bolt to it under threat of extreme fines, did the truck actually transfer to you when you handed over the check? Or did you just sign an $80,000 contract to lease a highly regulated piece of construction equipment? They want to make self-reliance a crime. They want you trapped in the digital cage. But the resistance is growing. Mechanics are finding ways around it. Guys are registering these swapped rigs as farm vehicles to get agricultural exemptions. Some are registering them as heavy equipment. Others are packing up and moving to rural counties that flat out refuse to implement emissions testing. We are adapting because the 1-2 valve represents the very last era of uncompromised mechanical freedom. Now, before I let you go, I want to give you a pro tip. Something they will never teach you at a modern dealership. I mentioned earlier that the 1-2 valve needs exactly 3 wires to run, and one of them is for the fuel shutoff solenoid. That electric solenoid pulls a mechanical lever up to let fuel into the pump. If that electrical solenoid burns out on the trail, or your battery completely dies, your engine shuts off. But here's the beauty of analog iron. You don't need a tow truck. You just grab a 10mm wrench, unbolt that burnt-out electric solenoid, and throw it in the dirt. Then, you take a piece of baling wire, a zip tie, or a piece of heavy string, and you manually tie that mechanical fuel lever in the up position. Once you do that, you can bump start the truck if you have a manual transmission. And guess what? It will run. You can disconnect the battery. You can take a hammer to the alternator. As long as that lever is tied up, that engine will continue to fire on pure, uninterrupted mechanical compression until the fuel tank runs completely bone dry. No computer, no electricity. Just fire, air, and iron. Have you ever seen a 1-2 valve swapped into a modern chassis? Or better yet, what is the most extreme mechanical bypass you've ever pulled off to escape a failing computer system? Sound off in the comments below, because your ingenuity is writing the survival guide for the rest of us. If you refuse to surrender your property to the dealership cartel, hit the subscribe button to join the resistance. Keep turning your own wrenches. Stay off the digital grid. And I'll see you in the next one.